are now on the air.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's that morning time. It's time to start the morning grind. Time to receive your daily dose of motivation and inspiration. Welcome to the Empower Lifestyle Radio Show with George Lopez and the Generation Next Realty team. Wake up and be empowered. This is George Lopez, co-founder of the Generation Next Realty team of Keller Williams, where we help you to buy, sell, and invest in real estate. You can call us at any time at 757-614-1027. We are always here for you. Alongside me is my amazing, beautiful wife, Shemaine.
Good morning.
She's the co-founder of Carry Down the Media, where she helps you to make your brand human. Good morning, baby.
Good morning, babe. How are you this morning?
I'm doing extremely well. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Good. That makes the both of us.
Yes. Well, today is Wednesday here in the United States and around the world. Well, some places, no. Some places, some countries, it's actually Thursday, right?
In front of us and behind us.
And some are behind us. Yes, exactly. Well, and today is what's happening in Hampton Roads and around the world, Wednesday. And we have an awesome guest this morning with us. And his name is Mr. Emmanuel Yancey. We're so grateful you're with us this morning, Mr. Yancey. Thank you.
Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and read Mr. Yancey's bio.
Yes, please go ahead and do that. And today's topic is this: the hope behind landscaping and restoring pride in home ownership. And you know how important that is for us. So I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Yes. Mr. Emmanuel Yancey grew up in a very spiritual and loving home. He was blessed to have 7 maternal grandparents, an impact that impacted his life in a significant way. After graduating high school, Emmanuel served his country in the United States Air Force. Thereafter, having an entrepreneurial spirit, Mr. Emmanuel Yancey opened his first business at the age of 21. Emmanuel's Hair Salon and CEY Collection Agency. Both were successful. However, having a strong desire to give back to the community, Emmanuel became a licensed insurance agent to educate families on the importance of leaving a legacy for his children. After losing all his grandparents, he founded Emmanuel's Hope Foundation Incorporated, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides complimentary and affordable lawn care services for senior citizens. Mr. Emmanuel Yancey is extremely passionate about ensuring seniors are able to be prideful of home ownership without the trees of maintaining their landscape. Good morning, Mr. Yancey. Welcome to the Empower Lifestyle Radio Show.
Good morning. I'm honored to be here today.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. I'm looking forward to this conversation because I feel like I know you really well.
Wonderful.
That's pretty much knowing your spirit of giving, your spirit of community. That's a spirit that I'm very familiar with, and I just love that spirit. So where do you get your drive and determination from?
I believe that we have to be the example of what we want the world to be. And I'm very passionate about providing services for our senior citizens and shining a light on their needs in the community. And so my drive comes from just working diligently to show people that we lead by example versus what we talk about. And so I work hard to be that example.
Well, I've heard very good things about you, and not only heard good things about you, but I see that as I mentioned earlier, in your spirit. And God calls us to be our brothers and sisters keepers. I truly believe that when we live according to that law, that rule, that mandate, that we will experience a better world. And it's a responsibility that we each have. And so many people that I know that know you, that we know, I should say, that know you, say that you are a person who's community oriented, a person who give back, a person who is looking for opportunities to help. And that is just a beautiful thing for someone to say about you, because so many times, folks are saying not so nice things about folks. And so when people can say that about you, that really speaks to your character. So thank you for being that person, because you don't have to be, you choose to be, and it makes a big difference to not only us and those that are watching and listening this morning, but also to the world, the globe that we live in, and God is seeing and watching it all. So what's your vision, and how do you ultimately see yourself accomplishing that vision?
Well, beginning, it's important to get the information out there. So I'm appreciative to both yourself and George Lopez for the opportunity to be a part of Empowered Lifestyle Radio, knowing that you're very impactful in the community, getting the word out there, because word of mouth is one of the most powerful venues of getting things known and for the community to know what's going on. So that's important. And Emmanuel's Hope Foundation is primarily focused on providing complimentary and affordable lawn care for our senior citizens that live by themselves. And I would like to empower our seniors to be in their homes with less stress. A lot of things that we as younger people, we don't think twice about. Our seniors agonize over them, like a city citation for tall grass or weeds. And these things, they propose anxiety, and they provoke stress in senior citizens. And so it's my goal to empower them to live in their homes whereby it's not as stressful as it could be, but it's something that they could enjoy as they did in their younger years. Because I truly believe that our latter years should be so much greater than our younger years. And if God blessed us with long life, he did that for a reason. And if God is honoring our seniors, I believe that is something that we should be doing as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is such a powerful statement. God says it. He says our latter years will be better, greater, and when we have people who are supporting us like you, it makes a big difference, right? It makes a big difference, as you mentioned, the stress, the peace of mind. It makes a difference between your health and your and sickness in your body. Stress is one of the things that really bring about various ailments in our bodies. So just not having to worry about the law, not having to worry about the citations and things of that nature, it makes a big difference. My gosh.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about that, babe. And we're just so grateful to Miss Sandra Neely, who introduced you to us. Having you as in our sphere of influence is a huge benefit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there are a lot of folks who don't have a lot of respect for older people. And for somebody like yourself to be taking up this cause is truly commendable. Where did you start? Where did you get this value or these values from to be taking care of older people like that?
Well, I was very blessed. I was fortunate. Most people are lucky if they have one grandparent or two. I was blessed to have 7 when I was a young child, and throughout my adulthood, I had 6 grandparents. My mother's parents, my father's parents, and on my father's side, 2 great grandmothers. So that's 6 grandparents. And needless to say, my great grandmothers poured a lot of wisdom, love, care, and understanding into me as a young man. And one thing that I would observe was my great grandma Sally. She used to love her flowers, her gardening, and she taught me a lot about plants as a young man. And I would help her in her garden. But I would go visit her sometimes when she was unable to continue to take care of her flowers, and her heart would be broken sitting on the porch and seeing the weeds overtaking her flower beds, seeing the grass growing up. And I would take the opportunity to do that for her. I was honored. And just the joy that it brought to her heart and the smile it put on her face, I'll never forget that. And now that all my grandparents are gone, everyone's grandparent is my grandparent. And it is important that we honor our seniors. And one thing that drives me is to be an example to the younger generation, you know, and to show them the treasure that is their grandparents. A lot of times our grandparents are taken for granted. Grandma may get a visit once every 3 months or so, and she's there by herself, or grandfather is there by themselves, and no one is really giving them the attention that I believe that seniors should receive. And so it is my desire to kind of bridge that gap between the young generation and our seniors. And how better to do that than to be that example. I am out there on a daily basis tending to our seniors' lawns, and I'm honored to do that. And some is complimentary, and other is whatever that they're able to pay to have the services done. And right now, I'm just leading by example, and we're not just cutting seniors' grass and just we're manicuring their lawns, and we are restoring their pride and home ownership. So sometimes their yard can look better than the neighbor's yard next to theirs.
Wow.
And I'm very honored and pleased to be able to provide that for them.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I want to ask you, how do people get in touch with you? That's very important. I want to establish that now. And then I also want to ask how, what designates a senior according to your program, your organization? Is it someone that's 50 and over, someone that's 70 and over? Or does it matter?
Yes, it does matter, absolutely.
Okay.
Because one thing for sure is our seniors are very powerful and they're very vibrant. And at 65 and at 70, they're still young. I know some of my friends that are out there cutting grass at actually 80 years old. A friend of mine by the name of Mr. McDew in Hampton.
Oh.
I have cut his lawn for him, but when I first met Mr. McDew, he was already tending to his own yard in his 80s. And so it is a blessing to be around our seniors. But I would say at the age of 70 and up, and those that are living primarily by themselves and financially constrained, because those that have financial means to pay for their services, then that's great.
Mhm.
But our focus are for the less fortunate.
Mhm.
Our seniors who are primarily by themselves, and they're struggling with maintaining their home. And some of them have lived in their homes for 40, 50 years and are forced out because they cannot maintain their landscape. And that is heartbreaking. Some of them receive citations whereby they mount up and the cost rises and the property is liened, and eventually they lose the property and are forced into a seniors facility.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we want to strive to bring an end to through Emmanuel's Hope Foundation.
Wow, what
Okay.
a blessing.
So can
Yeah,
you
what
now
blessing.
provide us with the contact information?
Information.
Because we want to make sure that we're putting it in the chat for those that are watching via social media.
Absolutely.
And for those that are listening on the radio, make sure you write this number down, whether it's for yourself or your grandparents or someone that you know, maybe a senior in your community that can benefit from this service.
Yes.
Please take this information now. Mr. Emmanuel Yancey, can you provide us with the contact info?
757-488-1645. That's 757-488-1645. And on our website at www.emmanuelshope.com. And that's EMANUELSHOPE.com.
Okay.
We're
So,
also on Facebook at Emmanuel's Hope and Instagram as well.
Okay, Facebook, Instagram, and you can always go to emmanuelshope.com and get information there, but feel free to reach out via, I know for the seniors, they may not be as technically savvy as others, but so you please take this number, it's 757-488-1645. Again, the number is 757-488-1645.
And Emmanuel is spelt with one M this time. It's usually
Thank
spelled
you,
with
George.
two
I
M's.
appreciate that.
Usually it's spelled with two M's, but this
Yeah.
time it's spelled with one M.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the most difficult or challenging situation that Emmanuel Hope Foundation faces today?
It's a very powerful question. I appreciate that. One of the major things that we're facing today is the awareness in the community and getting people to support Emmanuel's Hope Foundation. Undoubtedly, there is a great need in our community because the more seniors I service, the more seniors I see and come across that need service. And the task is overwhelming and becoming overwhelming for myself. But with the help of community support, financial support, volunteer support, we can provide service for many, many more seniors. I have a vision, a long-term vision, that if we could get the lawn care companies in each city to maybe, I would say, volunteer their service and sponsor a couple of our seniors in their city, that would be an extraordinary way of helping a multitude of seniors. Because if we have one lawn care provider in each city that would, I would say, sponsor 3 or 4 seniors, that's 30 seniors being serviced, whereby myself and a few volunteers with me may only be able to service a total of 10 in a month's time. So that is a way that we can get more services rendered for our seniors.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I strongly hope that you accomplish your goal by getting the amount of people or getting people to support Emmanuel Hope Foundation, because that can be a very challenging thing, especially in societies where people don't have so much respect for the elderly. But by your example, I'm sure that you'll be able to impact a lot of people to get their support as well.
Yeah. I wanted to add to that, years ago, I volunteered with AmeriCorps, and they also have AmeriCorps Vista, and they have AmeriCorps Senior. So it's a national organization that you can apply to, and you can get volunteers from AmeriCorps. I volunteered for 2 years, actually 3 years, because I did America Vista as well. So and I volunteered at Trinity Church in Florida, and Peacemakers. And so it's a great program where, especially since you have an organization where you can apply, and they will send a volunteer to work with you for the entire year. You just let them know what your needs are. I can give you information because, again, I'm still, I'm an alum. And I really truly believe in that program. It's a great program for anyone who have an organization and you're looking for professional individuals who have maybe the education that you need to advance your projects, or the skill set that you need to advance your projects. So it's a great way to get some volunteers to help you build and grow your business, or build and grow the organization, so you can increase your capacity to serve. And I also want to state that, in certain cultures, seniors are regarded as a jewel, a treasure. It's amazing that in this culture it's not seen that way, but when you're looking at the Asian culture, they fight. The kids fight for who's going to have the parent come live with them, because it's an honor. So they're if a parent has 3 children, they're all fighting to see who's going to keep mom, or who's going to keep dad, who's going to have dad stay with them, or who's going to have mom stay with them, because they want to be able to care for their parent. They look at it as a great honor. In our community, in our society, we tend to not see our seniors as jewels.
It's a challenge in the Western culture.
It is yes. And I'm so grateful that you're doing this, because hopefully, and folks will you know, if you have grandparents, this is an opportunity for you to reach out, have a conversation with them. If you know there's a senior living in your community, reach out to them, show them love. You have no idea how these individuals may have paved the way for you to enjoy the benefits that you enjoy today. Their commitment to the community as well, and professions.
Speaking of paving the way, I want to say thank you so much for your service, my brother. You know, I could have acknowledged that earlier, but it kind of slipped my mind. But I do want to say thank you for serving. How many years did you serve in the Air Force?
8.
8 years. Wow. So did you go overseas, or you just stayed in the country?
I spent some time over in Thule, Greenland.
Okay.
And
So,
Thule, Greenland, remote assignment there. I was quite an experience at the age of 18 years old.
okay.
6 months of darkness, 6 months of daylight. It was something to adjust to.
Okay.
So where do you see your business in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, we will expand, and I believe having a truck in every city in the Tidewater area, whether it's sponsored by other lawn care companies. The fact is, we will have people's attention focused on seniors. I want everyone to take a moment and think about who's cutting grandma's grass right now, how grandma is doing right now at home. A lot of us, we want to live a long time, but how are we treating those that have lived a long time? And I'm so glad that Charmaine, you said that they paved the way. That's something I say often. They paved the way for us to be where we are today. They've shared their wisdom, their knowledge and understanding with us. And it behooves us to honor them at this late age. We are actually sowing into our future. And people must understand and remember that there will be a harvest. You will have a harvest. It's irrefutable. But what are you sowing? So it's imperative that we honor our father and our mother, and that includes our grandparents, because there are our parents' fathers and mothers. And that is one of the commandments that came with the promise. And so clearly,
Preach, brother.
those that are here and have been here a long time, God has blessed them to be here. So they've sown. And now it's time for us to sow into their lives. And I believe that in the next 5 years, because I won't stop. If it's me out here, which I am out here each summer, each spring on a daily basis, cutting lawns, manicuring them, I will continue. I will not stop. And my example, it will be picked up by a lot of people. And I believe that they will follow. Our children don't do what we say. Our children do what we do. And so it is my desire to be an example. I have a daughter. Her name is Kinaya. She'll be 17 in February. That's my heart, my pride and joy. But it is my responsibility to be an example to her of what I expect of her, not just tell her. And so I have to show her how to honor her grandmother first. And in doing so, she'll honor me. But if she sees me not honoring my mother or my father, then how can I expect my daughter to honor and respect me? So it is imperative that we lead by example, and honoring our seniors is a great example. And if we can get our youth to understand that it is not your past that dictates your future, it is your present. Your past only created your present, and it is up to you to use your present to make your future as bright as the stars, if that's what you want to do. That can be done. So your past doesn't dictate your future. And so I would like the community to get behind Emmanuel's Hope Foundation. If you will go to our website and become a sponsor a senior for $7 a month, $25 a month, to help us to continue to provide service for our seniors and to provide for those that are not receiving service at this time, but need services.
You know, Mr. Yancey, you talked about the challenges that Emmanuel Hope Foundation faces. What about the challenges that you face on a personal basis?
Wow. I appreciate that question, George, because I'm challenged every day. And one thing that I say all the time to my family members, to my cousins, to my aunts and uncles, is I'm pressing. I'm pressing. And it doesn't matter how fast you're moving, but if you are pressing, moving in the direction of your destiny, you will eventually get there. But you can't be distracted and fall by the wayside and stop moving or stop pressing. You know, so every day is a challenge. It's a challenge to provide service where there are limited resources, but continue to provide those service. My father, he is experiencing illness. He's in the late stages of Parkinson's, young man at 71 and requiring our help. And my sisters and I, we're with dad and we're taking care of him. That's a challenge. Of course, my daughter, at the tender age of 16, you know, she's definitely daddy's little challenge. You know, I have a lot of challenges, but I'm definitely up for them. I'm very determined, I'm very deliberate, and I'm very consistent. And so it's important that we are consistent despite any challenge, because if you're consistent and you're pressing, you will overcome that challenge.
Amen.
You can't give up. Giving up, it's not an option. What is giving up actually?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Awesome.
but pressing.
Yes.
That is great.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that you're pressing forward.
Mhm.
It's very important to press forward, and you're an encouragement and an inspiration today.
Mhm.
The purpose of our the platform is to inspire, encourage, educate, and empower those that are watching and listening. And you have been that for us today. You've been that source for us today. I encourage
Likewise.
everyone that is listening this morning, or you're watching later, which happens very often, that you know, reach out to Mr. Emmanuel Yancey. He can be reached at 757-488-1645. Again, the number is 757-488-1645. You can also go to his website, which is emmanuelshope.com, and it's Emmanuel with one M, as my husband so eloquently pointed out. It's emmanuelshope.com, and you can go there as well. You can also sponsor a senior. I love that concept. I love that idea, and we're going to make a commitment to sponsor a senior. And so you can sponsor a senior for, you know, for the, is it for the year?
For a monthly contribution, there are several levels on the website, $7 a month, $25 a month, and so on.
Okay, great.
Okay, and are you also looking for partners to volunteer as well to help to do the lawns? Are you looking for?
Yes, primarily lawn care, established lawn care companies that would do quality work on behalf of our seniors. And maybe if they would sponsor 1 or 2 or 3 seniors, that would be a great help. And they could take care of those seniors in their normal route. And that would be great. And being a 501c3 nonprofit, their volunteer time will be noted.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
All right, I love it, love it, love it, love it. Well, this has been a great conversation.
It sure
So
has.
what is that one message you would want to leave our listening audience with as we prepare? to
30
leave at
seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Well, thank you for the opportunity first. I've been honored. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad that I'm here today, able to share with you. I'm very excited about what George and Charmaine do in the community. And I'm thankful for being here today. But I just want the listening audience to think about their grandparent, to think about their great-grandparent. Things are valuable in life because they are rare. Think about the diamond, think about gold. All these things have value because they are rare. How many parents do you have? You can only have one mother, one father, maternal, and grandparents. So they should be honored because they are rare. And most people, if you ask them, they have 1 or 2 grandparents. I was blessed. I had many treasures. I had 6. So my message today is just honor our seniors. And if you would help us to help more seniors by being a contributor at Emmanuel's Hope Foundation, and become a committed sponsor. That would be great. And we will continue helping seniors. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
The Empowered Lifestyle Radio Show is about a God consciousness that permeates your being on a daily basis. It's about living life to the fullest and bringing out the best in you. Live the life God has intended for you to live and win the day. And as always, we thank you for tuning in to the Empowered Lifestyle Radio Show with George Lopez and the Generation Next Realty team. Move forward with strength and courage and be prepared to
Win the day.
win the day, win the day, win the day.
For the past 30 minutes, you have been listening to the Empowered Lifestyle Radio Show with Mr. George Lopez.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.